Good evening, and welcome to Royal Psychic Live TV. Hope you can all see me as I cannot see myself. So welcome to tonight's program. We only have one psychic on this evening, not our usual program where we have our two psychics. So like and share our program this evening, guys, and I will just fix this little issue and I'll be on very soon. Okay. Okay. Sorry about this technical difficulty. Sorry, guys. I can see the mic's working. Okay, we do have Spider Ward in here this evening. Okay, what is my network is going crazy in here. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to pull that out. And guys, I'm looking off my phone. Okay. There. Now, now take Sorry about that, guys. So I'm having a bit of, I've had to log in off my phone as it's been a bit crazy, as you can see. So I'm going to have to log my other self out. And I'll log Spider straight in, seeing I'm taking up so much time already.
Hi, sweetie. We're back in
Hi,
business.
gorgeous. Sorry about that. Everything froze, so don't know if anyone was listening, if they could hear. My whole screen just froze in the computer. I can't get it to clear.
No, I think that's happening across the state. There's been a little bit of talk, solar flares, all sorts of reasons. But we're here now.
So sorry about that late delay. Now, as I was saying, guys, we only have the one psychic in this evening, and that's Spider. We were going to have Tracy in a little bit later, but she's not well. So this evening we do have Spider Ward. Now, she was our psychic of the year for 2020, and also our Hall of Fame psychic for 2019. So make sure you get your questions up. We only will be for that short hour, so you want to get those questions in quickly. Now, Spider, just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh, well, I've been around for nearly 2 centuries. Anyone who's seen me for real, if Tracy and I are together, we kind of looks like sisters from another mother. We're usually in the same outfits. So I am cognizant and clairsentient, so sometimes the spooky in me recognizes the spooky in you, so I know things. It's a waste of time lying to me or playing how good a psychic are you. Everything has an answer, and what we hope to get tonight or any time when we come together is a little bit of bridge work that means we can move forward. So try and ask questions that aren't just yes or no, because that's no fun at all. That's really, really boring. So the answer to yes and no questions will always be chocolate or sex. Take your pick. So try and ask me really nice questions. The Brisbane listeners, we hope to see you at the end of the month at MBS, and then we hope to see all the other people we didn't see at MBS at the ECA, which is very, very exciting for the Royal Psychic team.
Yes,
And the
indeed.
show bags, and they do strawberries and cream up here, so you just wait and see how wonderful it is. From a psychic point of view, everybody's going through a lot. It would be remiss not to say we're all a little bit affected by COVID, but it's not the be-all end-all. What it's doing is it's giving you an opportunity to be clearer about what it is that you want. For example, if I'm going to the shop or I'm going to the cafe and I say, do you want coffee or tea? You need to be able to go, I'd like a black coffee. If you don't, I'll bring everybody back white tea with 2, and you cannot then say, oh, I don't drink tea, when you had the opportunity to speak your truth. So at the moment, with all the things that are going on, and the retrogrades and the full moon and the weather and all of the energies that are coming and going, we need to be very, very clear about what it is that we want. Makes
100%.
manifesting easier. So can you still hear me, sweetheart, or are you
Yeah.
in and out of the drive-in? So I've got one card that I thought I might share with everybody, which is, just look at that. I've got that in the middle of the screen. It's such a wonderful moment. We've got the nice Archangel Gabriel overseeing everything, and it's about not getting bogged down in pissy little details, keeping your eye on the big picture and where you want to be, what outcomes you want, and understanding that everybody's kind of doing it tough at the moment. They're not just waking up in the morning trying to ruin your day. A little bit of gratitude goes a long, long way. Genuine concern for others, and support small business. They're doing a lot tougher than most.
100%.
That would be us. Okay, what do we got?
Let's see what questions we've got up here for you tonight, Spider. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and saying hello. That's fantastic.
Always nice.
Let's start off with this question here. Sammy Lee. You there, Spider?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. It's really
Oh,
late.
okay. No, lucky day, new resources, money, time, and support, a change in job, or a promotion. You have to be willing to travel, sweetheart. It's not going to stay. I don't know where here is, um, but generally, I think you have to be a little tiny bit flexible. I think as far as your career is concerned, the more flexible you are, you have to be willing to move around. So it must be that there's offices in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, maybe even as far as South Australia. I don't think it goes to Perth. I think that that's kind of will be your hunting ground. Let us know how you get on and what's coming up for you. And try and only make the choice that's best for you. Take it from your heart. Okay, it's not always about the mighty dollar. Sometimes it's a bit more. Hope that helps. Let us know, Sammy Lee. Okay, next.
Okay. D.
Hi Dee, thank you for letting me have a crack at this one. Got a phone call about a job. Will they ring back with an interview? Will this be successful and lead to a job? Was a nice interview. It's funny how going for a job has changed. Very, very positive cards. So one of you seems to be a little bit of the glass is half empty, and one of you can worry yourself in and out of success. That's a lovely little photo, little ID on the side there. The best thing about your husband is he's honest and loyal, and very good at what he does. But honesty and loyalty, they're the backbone of who your husband is, and we cannot ask him to be anything less than what he is. For me, it's a positive yes, he will get a call back.
Okay. We've got Melissa.
Hello, Melissa. Bianca wants to know if her family is around. I take it she means the dead ones. All right, there's two ladies around you at the moment. One lady for me is, I'm 68, so she seems older than me. She has honey grey hair. She's not white like the sides of me are. And the other lady is quite young, maybe 25, 30. I hope you know who they are. Both of them are emotionally connected to you, so I'm not sure that they're kin, but they're definitely chosen family. And the message for you is please don't allow the bumps in the road to interfere with the plan, and that sometimes you hold your breath and you hesitate and you miss moments, so you've got to clear up communication and speak your truth. Otherwise you get a really, really sore throat. It's like swallowing razor blades. It's just dreadful. And believe in you, sweetheart. You've got a few doubts around at the moment. Sometimes if we have a few knockbacks in a row, we don't feel very confident in ourselves and what we're able to do. Okie chokie.
Next we have Kate. Or Cat.
Love message around the pregnancy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Always like ushering in babies. You have to let go of the past, my darling girl, and honestly discuss your feelings and what you want to happen, and stop being so. Who's the controlling one here? You know, making babies can be just a very, very fun pastime on a wet Sunday afternoon. Maybe you take a little bit of a step back and everybody's just trying too hard. I hope that helps a little bit. All right, there's a whiff of a baby September, October. So that's a new pregnancy. That's not when a baby's due. Maybe you could let us know, sweet thing, when and if it happens, so we know what's going on. Oh, you moved. You get around, girl. Okay. Hello, Janie Jones. What would you maybe you can be considered for a reading, sweetie. What is it that you want to know? A lot of people hanging on to rubbish from the past. You know, when we go into lockdown, it's amazing what you have to deal with. You can only do the cutlery drawer so many times. And then things start flooding back that you thought you dealt with from the past. But for you, sweetheart, it's very important. You know, we can't move forward if we continue the same behaviour that landed us in the mess in the first place. Oh, a lot of noise and feedback we've got at the moment. How interesting is that? No, cannot hear you at all, but go with ask the question and see what comes up. Annette King. Whoops, hang on. I hope you can see that, sweetheart. That's a lovely card. Raphael, he's the one archangel who just likes you to breathe. Nice family relationships here. A little bit of an old-fashioned card. Picnics by the lake. If Raphael's around you, encouraging you to breathe, you are stressing a little bit too much, Annette. How about we just chill and relax and just go with the flow? I promise it's going to be all right.
Oh, now we can't hear you. No, I can't hear you at all. Can't hear you.
There you go. It keeps muting for some reason. So I don't know who heard what. Annette King. Is that your card, the Raphael one? Or perhaps this is a better one. Archangel Michael. Can you see that one all right, sweetie? And that's the words because I've got writing in the middle. Time to move quickly. If Archangel Michael is in your corner, believe me, it's all about relocation, travel, new job, everything all happening, bang, bang, bang. All you've got to do is say yes and the universe will deliver. Love and a house. Good evening to you. I'm looking for a house. Okay. Towards the end of the year, in terms of moving into a property, which I gather we'll call that a house for the time being, I think that you want a backyard, so I'm going to run with that ball. It appears that you have a romance around you, which is a wonderful, wonderful. I love true love. True love is a chance for everybody, two hearts looking in the same direction, and the romance of a lifetime. Look at that lovely card. Sort of a bit Anthony and Cleopatra, but it's the true love card, and I rather like that one. I hope that helps. Let me know if it makes sense, and maybe we can open up a little bit more about what you want to know. Okay, moving along. Who's next? Oh, and then Tracy went, and now she's back. I think we have little gremlins in the electricals tonight. Hi Belinda, how are you? I hope you can hear me all right. Now we've got an hour tonight. Anybody who can hear me, if you can be a little bit more specific about what it is that you want, then we give you a little bit more information. But you can do anything right now. I think that perhaps we all sometimes crave to be successful and to win. But sometimes the truth of the matter is we're very, very frightened of being successful and actually winning at what we want to do, because that's going to change everything. It's going to change the circle of friends. It's going to achieve things that we didn't think possible. It's about changing perspective and daring to be different and daring to be you. You have such a lot to give, Belinda. Just get it out there, my sweet, and don't be afraid of trying. I think we have a little bit of a delay. Am I wasting my time applying for the jobs I really want? No, I don't think you're wasting your time, Janine, but I do think what has to change, really and truly, is perhaps the desperate approach has to stop. And by that I mean, you just don't keep going after job after job after job. Sit down for a little moment. What is it that you really want? And is there another way that you can get there? Sometimes we get bogged down in how we're going to do it or why we're going to get there. And it messes with our confidence and it affects what we're doing. I don't think any applying for a job is a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time if you're not going to stay with that employer and you're just kind of doing it to be stocking filler, and I think that needs to be looked at. But I think you've done a wonderful job. I think you need to move on to a job that matches your attitude. Leanne, hello. Do you see me getting one-on-one with my grandson, please? That requires a little tiny bit of honest communication, sweetheart. I cannot see why you can't see him, but there's two very stubborn people involved in this. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I want you to breathe a sigh of relief, and I'd like you to make new plans about seeing this beautiful child. And stay positive. You will see him, but you're going to have to learn to bite your tongue, sweetie, and not state the obvious. Okay. I have sound. I can hear you live on delay about 4 seconds. Oh, God bless you, Michael Pumphrey. I love you. That's my beautiful, beautiful husband.
Hi, Beck.
Recently accepted a new job and I'm about to turn 40, so I'm feeling a little heightened right now. Getting in my head a little about being on the right path. Oh, my darling, this is wonderful. I'm so glad that you have a nice new job to go to. When we're not grounded, it's a really shitty place. I'm not going to mince words. It's one of those nights. Here's what works. In all of this, you are the right person at the right time with the right job. And because you want it so much and you got it, you have started to doubt that you're the right person. So the way that we kind of cut this off at the pass is that we start being obscenely grateful for all sorts of things in our life, and we list them, and you go through the gratitude thing. On some level out there in the universe, my darling girl, you asked for this job and the universe has delivered. So we need to not worry about whether or not it's a good deal. I'm 68 and my accolades came very late in life, but 40, my sweet, is the new 30. You just rock it in a black dress and you're just going to shine like a beacon. Lighten up on you, sweetie. You're just a little tiny bit too critical for my money. Self-criticism isn't going to do you any good. Be the girl that they need you to be in the job. And work a little bit with the Archangel Ariel. Ariel's always good for looking good, feeling good. Hi, Cassandra. We ever going to own our own home? I feel like it's all consuming. Will it ever happen? Ah, my darling girl, let's get a bit of clarity here. Do you mean you and the bank have owned your house? Or do you mean own it outright? It's a little tiny bit vague at the moment. And it is very, very all-consuming. I think that you are trying to put too big a weight on your shoulders. I think you are trying way, way, way too intensely for perfection. There's a situation that's ended and I feel really strongly about that, and now that you're free for new opportunities. So maybe just lighten up the load. Every waking moment of your life cannot be devoted to owning a home. If that's it, then you're bringing a new demon into your life and there is no pleasure. So there's new opportunities and you just stop worrying about what can go wrong and start being grateful for what's going right. You're also not the most patient little bunny in the pack, and it's no good stamping your feet on this one because you wanted it to happen at 4 o'clock last Friday. Hockey dokie. Who's the next lovely girl?
Helen.
Hi, Helen. I think that the current situation you find yourself in and the current path may not be the best one for you. I think we have to strike for you a balance, like set a timetable. Literally in front of you, put a spreadsheet down, and if you are working alone a lot at home, or under the new system people work half and half at the office and at home, you have got to have a slightly better timetable about how you're going to run the show. And when you get consumed and overwhelmed, you make careless mistakes. So you need to review details. I think there's contracts coming up, and I think that you have to make family time very, very dedicated for a little while. I think what's out of kilter here is it doesn't have a sort of flow rate. When pre-COVID, people went to work and they came home. Now it's all higgledy-piggledy and you have to go back to the drawing board and set up a timetable that works for you and is inclusive of your family and your family time. Maybe you could get back to us on how you're going on that one.
Maureen.
Oh, my darling, I'm so sorry that your pa has gone. It's probably a little bit too soon with the crossing over. We try not to do a lot of mediumship because it tends to be a very personal time, and you are still in very, very early grieving. I know you were loved, and I know this is a very, very difficult time for you and your family, and I know everyone at Royal Psychic sends you love and support at the moment.
Got some beautiful.
Oh, Novella, my darling, because Alex is a mean little sod with a very, very ugly attitude. And it's never ever going to be a good set of circumstances where I can justify what this little ratfink has done. And because you loved him so very, very much, and I can feel your pain, I think Trace can, I think we can all feel for you at the moment. He did it out of spite, and he did it because he could. Well without this boy, I think. Far, far away. I'm so sorry, my sweet. Give yourself a little bit of time to grieve for what might have been, and then we'll find you a much nicer lifestyle, I think. What a brave girl to tell us, to even want to ask the question.
Asshole.
Absolutely. Be gentle with you, my sweet. We're all absolutely love you completely at the moment, and just can't believe you have to go through this.
What have you got now?
Karai. Is that how you say it? Karai? Karai.
Carrie, I think it is.
Kerry. Could be a Kerry. It's come out in an interesting way. Oh, can you see that? I usually bugger up putting the cards. I've got no idea where to put it. Lots of love and romance there, my sweet. I hope that's what you're looking for. Got two hearts looking in the same direction. Goodness gracious me, your love life's certainly more active than mine. Whoops, forgot I was on air. Sorry, Michael. Dream come true. Absolutely wonderful end of a difficult situation for you. Don't bring the past into this one. You know, you wait a long time for someone to come into your life to love you and to help heal all the wounds. And that would be my Michael. He's an absolute joy. And if I can come out of the ashes and find a place to be happy, so can you. And the secret seems to be that you meet in the middle. All that you have to remember is not to let it get too serious, and it has. And you know, when it gets a bit serious, well, it's just bloody boring. So can you get your little flirty eyes back on? Get one of those nice push-up bras and explore all the wonderful feelings. And when he pops the question or reaffirms all the things that are going on in your life, for God's sake, let us know. We just love happy love stories.
Lovely.
We do.
We've got David.
Who have we got?
David.
Oh, hi, David. Will you move to Tasmania this month? God, I hope so. There's a few loose ends. Lucky day, new resources. Stay determined, and in your mind, set a date. So we're well into July. And when you say this month, do you mean the end of July or into August? My feeling is that you've moved by the middle of August, but what concerns me is it seems to be dragging its tail. But sometimes the last minute thing can be a bit complicated. Just understand that everything, the delay is for a reason. And you need to stay fixed and say things, not if I move to Tasmania, but when I move. But my grey area is that a month from now would put it in the middle of August. If you mean the end of July, no, it's not quite across the line then. I hope that helps. But it is a challenge you can resolve. So something's been left not quite right. I feel it's a date, or it's just in electronic transfer stuff. It's silly stuff that will come right. Have patience with yourself and those around you. And let us know when you move, please.
100%.
That would be good.
Who we got? Deborah.
Oh, God love her. I'm sure you can see what's wrong and what I need. Any advice, please? All right, sweetheart. Let's go in hard and strong. Here's a little affirmation that I want you to try. I forgive Deborah for not being the person I want her to be. I love who she's becoming. You are a very, very harsh judge of you. You are more than enough. And there's some little bee in your ear whose advice, such a bitch, but whose advice you hang on her every word. And that needs to stop because she's just jealous of what you've got and what she hasn't got. I hope that makes sense. I don't like it when people bully and interfere with our lives. I just need you to lighten up, my sweet, and I promise it will be all right.
Hey, Rach.
Hi, Rach, how are you? Would love to know, will I achieve my new career dreams? Any messages from my dad in spirit? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wonder what these new career dreams are and when. October. October seems to be a very big month for you, my love. Exciting new challenges that you can succeed. There's also a contract around. I'm not sure whether that's a contract for a property or it's a contract for a job. Either way, read it very, very carefully. Sometimes you're too trusting. And again, I suspect that's your dad. You're too trusting. When it comes to legal matters, you have got to read it very carefully. If you don't understand it, get somebody else to go over it with you. I hope that makes sense, but it's two big angels around you at the moment, the Archangel Gabriel, and that's all about words, and Archangel Michael. No, you just be very, very careful. Just don't go in blind and too trusting. And there is another review of details here, another one. So that's two about contract and legal matters. Very, very carefully. I think your dad was a very thorough person when it came to balancing his, I was going to say checkbook, but that's his bank accounts. And any letters or anything that he had to do. So there's a little bit of insecurity around you, and I think that your dad was your biggest fan, and when he crossed over, I think that you thought you lost your fan club. It just grew and grew and grew. There's so many people who are cheering you on. Please let me know how you get on, sweetheart.
Hi, Natalie.
Is my future business the start of... Well, if we're looking for someone else to bring the love and happiness in, it's almost doomed to fail before you get started. Your future business... there's a lot of you involved in it, and I need you to be happy, healthy and whole and trust you. Not second guessing yourself, and that you at least look at what you see as your shortcomings with a kind of forgiving nature. it is all happened to this point so that you can be the person that you needed a long time ago when you got hurt. So your business can only move forward if you let it move forward. I know that's a bit of ass-abouty, but you needn't go through this by yourself, and you needn't be afraid. It's not a failure to ask questions, especially when you're going into new business and new business practice. But I think that if you're not careful and you worry too much about what if and down the negative road, then you are going to usher in self-fulfilling prophecies that are about failure, when in actuality, my feeling is that in all sorts of unexpected ways, all of your needs are going to be fulfilled, and all we have to do is have a balance of the giving and the sort of handing out and taking back. Be gracious in receiving.
Okay, next we have Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. I'm sorry that your mum passed. It's never an easy place. You know, your mum, from from the day you were born, has always watched over you. She has always put love around you, and I suspect that you feel her presence. You just not. It's only January. We're only a few months down the track. That you have not quite got the hang of what her presence feels like. It's just a little bit vague. But she's always there, and I think that sometimes you feel quite strongly, if you just turned your head really quickly, that you would see her. So be a little bit patient here, and over time we can teach you how to recognise those moments with your mum. But she is never ever so far away. Always around you. How lovely. And that's going to give you a new emotional situation as you develop your spiritual relationship with your mama, which is a kind of nice place to be. Okay.
Next we have
Courtney. Whoa. Oh, my darling, there is never enough words to express what it's like when we lose a child and when they cross over. In time, there'll be a gentle place where this beautiful boy angel is. I'm sure that you miss him all the time, and I don't think that gets any less. It's just a place where you'll be able to go to. I think towards the beginning of next year that we could have another baby on the way. You need to give yourself just a little tiny bit more time to settle the loss. I know it sounds a funny way to put it, but it's just in a way so that you can manage day to day, and that you are ready to bring another child into the world. This is something that this is not an on-air chat. I think there's a great deal of activity, and you may not realise mid-December, that you are in fact pregnant again. So just be gentle with you, and maybe keep in touch with Royal Psychic. I'm in Queensland, you can try for me, or you come back to Angel and the Royal Psychic in Sydney. And you have all our love and support at the moment, my sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael Pumphrey.
Shaky devil.
And what about you? There's one for you, Trace. Before you go on to the next person, look at this, the mermaid card. That means we're going to party in Brisbane, my sweet.
Well,
Okay.
I hope so. We're going to be up there for the 3 weeks. So
For
we've
three
got
weeks,
that.
you'll almost feel like you're a Brisbanean.
Yay!
Okay. Hi, T. Future romance. I love romance. I don't think there's enough romance in the world.
Everyone's welcome to.
Everybody likes the blue hair. Yeah, I think I like the blue hair. We might keep that for a little while. T, my darling, I take it there's an X floating around and you need to let that one go. New love. Oh, look. Oh, look, oh, look, oh, look, oh, look. Romance. New love. Somebody, I think you may have met. And it's in the flirty stage. I wonder if this is a blast from the past. You just keep an open mind, sweetheart. There's a lot of love around. And it seems to me that it's coming from two different directions, not the immediate ex. Okay, the immediate ex is gone. Finito. But nice, happy cards. Maybe next month, you need to tell us what's going on with that little romance, I think.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, by the 6th of September. Well, it depends what your idea of the right size home for you is. You know, sometimes 2 bedrooms and a caravan and a sleep out kind of stretches itself to cover all the right people. I think that by September might be a little bit optimistic again. However, time to make a really big decision. You will find the right place. My feeling is that it might need some work done on it. But I need you to see this card. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I've got absolutely no sense of direction with this. See all the different little coloured pots? There's too many variables in what you're willing to accept. You have to be really precise. For example, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage and a pool. Whatever you want, whatever you need in a house. If it's 3 bedrooms, a bathroom and an outside loo, you have to be able to sing it like 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage and a pool, and you'll bring it home, but you will not bring it home by the 6th of September, sweetheart.
Oh, Faith just gone crazy. I think that was Colleen.
It's Colleen. I've been alone for years. I'm pretty young. Will I ever find a man to love and spend my life with? Well, as an agony aunt, I could just jump right in and say, of course you will. But the problem is, sweetie, you know exactly what you don't want. But what you're not as sharp on is what you do want in your life. And that's the problem. We all know we don't like Brussels sprouts. So any other vegetable after that is settling. I need you to be very honest about what you want and who you want. And it begins with a little bit of work on understanding that you are worthy of love, that you are safe, loved and protected, and somewhere along the line you have to be able to tell this man of your dreams what you bring to the table. It has to be a give and take relationship, and I think that if you get rid of the clipboard and you get rid of fear of being hurt or making a mistake, then self-confidence grows. And when we are confident, that's a very, very romantically attractive side of your personality. So if you're still, you don't say how old you are, but I do believe that you just have to change perspective and lighten up a little bit with an opportunity to improve your plans. Hope that makes sense.
Hi, Julianne.
Hi, Julianne. Will my daughters? Oh, daughters. Anyway, will they speak to you again? I think there's been a lot said and a lot of things not said. And there is a new challenge afoot here that you can maybe bridge the gap here, as long as we don't lay blame anywhere. This is a very, very difficult situation, and the problem is that one girl does not like the truth. One girl would rather believe the lie because it's easier. Not an easy answer, because it's not going to happen easily. You could probably pull a rabbit out of the hat and maybe be together for Christmas, but it will never ever be the same. So it's time to just decide how much of you are going to allow to be hurt in this matter. I know that's a vague answer, but there's too many people involved in how we get you all across the bridge and at the same table being nice to one another.
Okay, next we have Ashley.
Ashley, this is a very, very slow process, and it involves us with the reconnecting. It involves nerve shock, and spinal cord injuries are notoriously slow, and you can have small bursts. So sometime in the next 3 to 6 months, you may have some good results, and then it plateaus out for a little while. I think that the long term is 2 to 3 years of hard graft, learning to walk properly again. But it is happening as I speak to you. It's just that anything that involves nerves, they have a slow memory, and it's a waiting game. I think that if you see her walking in your mind's eye, this is how I would do it. I would feel it as totally whole and credible that it can be done. It's just that if the textbook says she should be up and walking, then that's got nothing to do with how your daughter can do it. Lots and lots of encouragement and lots of patience, and never give up.
Beautiful reading, Spider. Next we have Angelique.
Angelique,
Thanks for sharing.
around work. I can do around work very easily. Work-wise, whoops. Okay, can you see that one? There's the words, and there's the top bit of it. It's about solutions, and it's a working intuitive card. So it's a number 14 or a 5, whichever way you want to read it. But self-control and patience. I think we have a little bit of insecurity from somebody who is either your supervisor or the next person up, and they are feeling a little bit threatened by you, but your success comes from being objective compromise. Okay, that means you don't have to win every point. So just try and walk the middle ground for a little while, and that will be fine.
Okay, next we have 15.
Hi, Christine. I am concerned a little bit for your spiritual journey. It's going ahead great guns. All right, that's first and foremost. But sometimes we race ahead and we forget the basics. And the basics, like Psychic 101, we forget the importance of clearing chakras. We forget that we have to um, pace ourselves so that we miss out on the steps. That on your spiritual journey, to keep it on track, it has to have a creative aspect. So my creative aspect, if you like, is my waxwork and my colouring in and my writing. So you need to have three aspects of your creativity that involve a physical you, a mental you, and something from your heart. So it doesn't matter whether you grow something or you look into something, a side piece of what you do. I think that you have an extraordinary blending ability, and I wonder whether or not you have done a lot of work with aromatherapy oils or herbs. Both of those things seem to be something that you could do well with. Just don't race ahead. Everybody's spiritual journey has a slightly different pace, and because you're so passionately involved with it, um, you've become a little bit like a magician, and it seems to me it doesn't matter what part of metaphysics you turn your hand to, it works a treat. So somewhere along the line you have to take one step back and say, this is the direction that I want it to go in for a little while, and you stay in that direction for at least a year.
Okay, we're going to wind up soon because we've already had our own 20 Okay, next is
Have we got time for one more?
yeah, we've got time. You let me know when you want to finish up.
Um, oh, oh. Health issues, my family and life in general. Is my late dad looking after me? I always wonder. Oh, bless your heart. You know, when people have crossed over, my sweet, they have nothing better to do than to watch over us and keep us safe. And they learn about, with a forgiving heart, how to move forward in a loving way. For you, I think that you are clairsentient by nature, and therefore you are not always you're blessed are the peacemakers, and my dear, you bite your tongue all the time, and that you get the razor blade throat. You get a sore throat constantly because you're not speaking your truth, and perhaps a little bit too much time trying to please everybody, and the person who's getting very weary is you. There are some lovely wise teachers around you. Spend a little time, if you will, with the Archangel Raphael. Clairsentient people, they're the feelers. I feel, therefore I know. Benefit greatly from self-care and looking after self. And sometimes when we're called to be in the service of others, that's 3 Raphael cards, all about looking after you and your love of home and family. I think that you're trying to keep too many balls in the air, and that maybe that learning and that study that you want to do will set your timetable back in such a way that you can kind of balance the budget of life, and that's your free time and your family time and your work and your study. So that's 4 areas in which you just slow the pace down a little bit, and that's where your dad comes in. And I do know that you feel him around you. You're just not quite confident enough to say that's what it is. So just see how you go. The more you talk about your dad, the more you feel his presence. Um, and that in that little exercise, you're able to grow your own intuition. And your dad will help you from that with that from the other side. What a lovely, lovely man. So much love for you, my sweet.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
You right to do
You
another
right to do
one?
another one? Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Leslie.
Leslie. Okay, Leslie. Optimistic plans turning out exactly as you want them to be. What's a little bit out of whack for you is giving and receiving. You're an amazing giver of yourself and your time, and it seems to me that you've got trust issues that are creeping in here, and you're not as good at letting people do for you. Um, it's time for you to make some changes, and embrace the opportunities that change brings. And then I think we're going to find you a much happier girl, and not, like it's all got a little bit serious. It's like you're on a jury person on a murder trial, and there is no joy. But I think with a little bit of change and fine tuning, maybe you can learn to say no once in a while. That won't hurt all the people that feel they need to take a piece of you all the time. But there's a new emotional situation around you, and I'm really, really liking it's gentle, it's loving, it's got dreams coming true, and it's a very open hearted way forward for you. So, any time after about the 20th of August, there seems to be big changes afoot for you, and but you must be honest. And I'm not saying that you're a dishonest person, I'm just saying that you don't always speak your truth because you'd rather keep the peace. Well, that's not doing you any good, and you will get sick if you keep that up. There's an opportunity for you as well, to do some kind of short course. My feeling is it's 3 to 6 months. You really want to do it, and you've been a bit iffy. Just say yes. Someone's going to pay for it, so it would be good not to waste the opportunity.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
Tiffany.
Follow to here. Is there anything, my guides? Hi, Tiffany.
Oh, you found us on YouTube and found us here on Facebook. Yeah, we go out. We go out.
Oh, okay. So you've come the long way. Bless your heart. Okay, I'm just having a little shuffle here and see what we can find for you. New beginning and end of delays. I always like the water wheel when it comes up. It's a change in direction that offers happiness for you. There is an opportunity, a lot of education around you at the moment, and an opportunity either to teach or to be a student seems to be around the corner, or continuing as a teacher and a student at the same time. You do know what to do. It is a time really for career rather than your relationship. It is incredibly important that you don't overcommit yourself. Otherwise you lose the balance. If you lose the balance, you don't sleep well. If you don't sleep well, you're just a bitch when you wake up in the morning. But also careless mistakes, and it all gets too serious and nothing's fun. And we need more fun. We need to laugh a little bit more. It's all got too miserable.
100%. Okay, who we got? Gail.
Ah, a card. A card is easy.
Hi, Gail.
Look. A Michael card. And hang on, I'll hold it where you can see it. Can you see that? Because when the Archangel Michael shows up, it's always in your face thing. Release the past. There is nothing you can do about the past. It serves as some kind of training ground, and if you continue to go back to the past, you're always going to get the same result. We can't change it. But you will grow from this, and time does heal all wounds eventually. That doesn't mean that you'll have coffee and cake with the people who hurt you, but what it means is that if you let it go, then we get a change, and that change ushers in new beginnings, and new beginnings always give us the opportunity to be better at who we are. And so from that, you have a bit of the Midas touch in you, my darling girl. You will always land on your feet. Okay. Oh, okay. You're welcome, Tiffany. We've had some lovely people tonight. A lot of change around, people. Little bit of sadness and loss. Very grateful for how honest people are when they're in pain. It's never easy to announce that to a world full of strangers. Oh, Leslie, you're welcome, my darling. Keep in touch with us, sweetie, and let us know how things are going. Your Reiki home business is going to go ahead. I do worry, my darling girl, that stresses that you create, not that the work creates, will make you sick. You too must have a sense of balance and a level playing field. So Wednesday night is a good night for date night. And it's really, really important that your love life get equal billing. It's not something that you just fit into your life. This is someone that you chose to be with, and you have to make equal effort. You know, our beautiful Reiki healers and teachers, they're getting burnt out because people are just using them as a quick fix. And they are truly the salt of the earth, and we need to look after them a little better. A little bit more. If you're looking for a rock to study for a little while, darling girl, maybe you spend some time with Malachite and the beautiful Archangel Raphael and the Archangel Haniel, like Daniel, and do a little bit of lunar work and line yourself up with the lunar calendar, and that's going to make a great deal of difference to you on all levels.
Beautiful. You're on fire.
New here from the Philippines. Hello, my darling. How are you? You're a long way from home. I have lovely friends in Manila. I really do like your country, only when it's not raining. Your spiritual journey is a little bit stop and start. I would like to see it flow a little bit better. And I think that you are better served to work in a team, not so much on your own. You don't get as good a result. I think there's a better course of action available for you. I'd like to see perhaps that you didn't worry so much. Gosh, if you were short of money, you could run a little course on the side and teach people how to worry. My goodness gracious me. No, I'm so glad you've joined us. Please keep in touch and talk to the girls any opportunities Tuesdays and Thursdays that you get with Royal Psychic, because you really and truly are growing and jumping ahead leaps and bounds, and we can kind of keep you a couple of steps ahead in what you need. But your worry is unnecessary. Always have a positive outcome that you want, that you know it's going to work. It doesn't matter what goes wrong in the middle, it's the outcome that matters. And if you release feelings where you feel guilty and sometimes regret, then we're going to get a better balance for you, and your clients and your friends and your family are going to get um, more of a balanced you, not someone who is too tired to play, too tired to work, just too tired.
Is it Sharon?
Yeah,
Yep.
Sharon Thompson. Well, if you want to do an Amazon business, I can only imagine that you have a product of some sort or several products. Do your homework. There's no reason why you can't do the business, but I think it requires you to take just a step back, not to go jump in all guns blazing, and just see whether or not your business plan allows the Amazon business gives you the scope that fits with your business. Sometimes when we do an online business, it requires a great deal more from you than it looks like on paper. Just check out whether or not that it's the right way for you to take your business. And I know you've got some new ideas. I'd like to see those implemented. I'd like to see that if you're going to do this multi-level thing where some of it's on Amazon, some of it's face-to-face, that you remember there are 7 days in the week and you have got 9 days work on the go at the moment. So you just might want to pull it in a little bit, do a little bit of a review, and not be hanging off the end of the building. We're looking for balance, and that's really, really important here. I hope that makes sense and kind of fills in the boxes, because your mind is like a freight train and it is moving faster than your physical self is. So we just might need to put the brakes on a little bit and fine tune what's already in the works, and then it'll settle and that will be good.
Christine.
Oh yes. Oh yes, 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 yes. This is a little boomer. Absolutely. This is really, really nice. Made with love. Cannot go wrong. Um, don't overthink it. You've got a very, very nice business plan. You've got a really, really nice product. Um, Try not to let it grow like a runaway house or a runaway horse. Sorry, these teeth. Um, and just be known for one or two of the things that you make. It's a little bit like the bagel bloke outside Grand Central Station. That's all he had, bagels. Bagels with cream cheese, bagels with salmon, and plain old hot bagels. But everybody knew where to go. It's going to thrive, and it'll thrive because your son really and truly has a gift for pastries. Goodness gracious me. And you have a way to teach him to do it the right way every time, not cut corners, not be mean with ingredients. Perhaps you could send us a box. I know I'd share them with Angel if she was good. We share a bit. Egg and bacon sarnies.
Sharing all our seats.
I am. It's just so lovely to be talking to people tonight. We've had such lovely people, considering that we've had gremlins in the work and extra voices and goodness knows what else.
Yes, and we've been grateful to have done a bit of extra time too this evening. So that's great, because the lucky that we did have to come in and out.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I send lots of love to Shaz,
Trace.
and I hope she feels a whole lot better. Um, oh, my love, their cookies.
Yummo.
Yum, oh, I'm telling you, somebody knows a pastry trick. Is it you, Christine, or does this boy dabble in little things? And the cookies will work, no worries at all. But there is another string to this boy's bow. It's going to be fine.
Okay. Let's see. What's this one?
What did that one say?
Is
The
it up there?
last no. Ah, Siobhan, my love, my love.
Hello.
Financial issues seem to be um, just a little bit of a concern for you at the moment, career and finances. Um, actually, your life is you've got too many irons in the fire, sweetheart. We need to just cut it back a little bit. Be really good at two or three things, not have a crack at nine and cover all the bases. There's a dream come true, the end of a difficult situation. Time for you to just believe in you, okay? You are enough and you can make your dreams come true. You have been perhaps dividing your time a little bit too much between trying to help people and trying to get it right for you. But your plans are working out a little bit slowly, perhaps, but there is financial success around the fact that it's been a little bit of a slow starter. Slow and steady wins the race, and I'd rather it had the grounding that it's got now. I hope that makes sense. And that perhaps next time you're wandering down memory lane, you do so with a kinder and more forgiving heart. Hi, Olive. D. Shed, only if you have time. My grandson will not sleep in his room. He feels like he's being watched and stared at. How do I help him? Leave the light on. D. There's a lot of tension around this little boy. And it's not that he can't sleep in his room. He's naturally intuitive, and as such, there are a few little things that you can do to help him feel a little bit more safe and grounded. There is a wonderful little book, if I can show it to you, about being an empath kid. So I got that out, and I must have known that you were going to be in touch. But that what's happening with him, he's feeling too much, and the fact that he feels like he's being watched, he's got a guardian angel being watching over him at the moment, and that guardian angel appears at the moment to be Jophiel. So all that you need to do with him is tell him that the person who is watching over him is there to keep him safe. Now I lay me down to sleep, that one. And that ask him what makes him feel safe, and if it's leaving the light on, if it's leaving the light on in the bedroom, a night light and the hall light on, so be it. Just until he gets a handle on his own spirituality. And rather than buy into the fear, that we perhaps reinforce and help him understand who he is at the moment and who he's becoming. You don't say how old he is, but if he gets overwhelmed, barefoot on the grass is a good place. He's picking up on too much energy. The fact that that sensation that you are being watched is often when we pick up on our own guardian angels. And for example, for me, my grandparents have all crossed over, but I'm very aware of their energy, and that's who it is. So the fact of the matter is, he's going to have these feelings for the rest of his life. So now would be a good time to teach him how to cope and how to manage them.
Thank you. Beautiful spider.
Olive, I don't know if I talked to you before. You can't do both of these things at the same time, moving house and starting a business. You do one or the other and then move on to the next one. Starting your own business, it needs a little tiny bit more work. I think in theory it works. In theory it'll do quite nicely. I think the business plan is very, very shaky and not solid enough. Any state in Australia, each state has their own small business groups. In New South Wales, it's you just go into New South Wales small business and the government pages, and they have a lot of free courses to help you with the structure of small business. It doesn't matter, Brisbane, Sydney, Adelaide, it doesn't matter which state that you're coming from. And they have a vested interest in you succeeding at your business. So we see that as a new baby. If you're going to move house, we see that as a new baby. And trust me, 2 new babies that require your attention 24/7 is a recipe for disaster. So you do one and then you do the other. It doesn't matter which one comes first, as long as you don't try and complicate your life and spread your energy too thin.
Okay, next we've got Marissa.
Isn't that a desperate thing? Will I ever get a mortgage? If so, when? You have a little bit more homework to do, sweetheart. They don't just give out mortgages willy-nilly. It's not a bad time to go after a mortgage. Do a little bit of homework, shop around, see who's going to give you the best deal. Because I have no doubt interest rates are going to rise again, and I'd like to see you in a position where you can manage the mortgage and not go hungry. So yes, you will get one when you've got a better idea of what you want and when you want it to happen. Okay, chalk. Going well for me, being accepted. I think I'm excited for you as well, beautiful girl. Please, I need you to go back and go through the application. I think you can fine-tune it a little bit, and I think that you need to look at it with fresh eyes. I think there are perhaps some answers where you're able to write more than just yes or no or a date. I think that you might need somebody to look at it with you just to get it across the line. I'm not suggesting that you're not capable, but sometimes when we're really passionate and excited about things, we can miss out on dotting I's and crossing T's. Just go through it again, sweetheart. It will be accepted. I don't know what the timing is for it. I just can't quite get my finger on when that will be. But I think because the way it's filled out, it's not right at the moment. It's not moving. Hope that makes sense.
Wow, this feed just keeps going on. Okay, we're going to wind up in minutes, guys.
Okay. Hi, Mila. How are you? You're another one that, we've got to strike a balance. Seems to be in the order tonight that we need we've lost track of how the timetable works. You need to be aware with your love life and your work life. You need to be aware of how you feel and how your emotions run. We need to almost give you two columns. One is personal, one is professional, and determination and self-control are what make work a better place, and you are very successful in your work field, and you always will be. But your love life, it's like it's either your love life works terrific and the job suffers, or the job is terrific and your love life suffers. So you need to strike a balance and maybe, just maybe, quieten life down a little bit. And that experience will lead you to a more fulfilling success in both areas, your love life and your work life. Just need a little bit more balance, my darling.
Bianca.
Oh, Bianca, my darling, I'm so sorry. Talk about bloody challenges. What did you do? Line up twice. Okie dokie. First of all, I need you to take a step back and I need you to make a little list and clear up communication problems. You know, when a whole lot of shit is going down in our lives, sometimes we almost need a translator to make sense of what's going on. Some of the challenges are not of your making and they're none of your business. Cut them loose and get out of them. One or two of them, you're in the right, and I picked up a justice card as I was talking to you just now. Fight for justice and equality. Now, the important thing here is this bloody thing is dragging its ass a little bit. But the ruling is made in your favour, so please don't give up, but don't be consumed by it either. And it's got too bloody serious, okay? There needs to be a little bit of fun in the playground, just a little bit. You need just to lighten up on you. There is a celebration around. My feeling is that that's around the American Thanksgiving, which is in November. Wonderful time for celebration and a release for you. So some of the challenges will just naturally die off or move away. You are trying too hard to please all of the players in this situation at the moment, and as far as I'm concerned, they can all jump off a short pier somewhere because they're just a bloody nuisance in your life. Your solutions, my darling, come from patience and forgiveness. My favourite little mantra, as many of you know, I forgive Spider for not being the person I want her to be. I love who she's becoming. Have a crack at it, see whether or not you can fit it into your life and lighten up. These challenges are not all your burdens to carry. So you've got to release the guilt you feel of saying, no, I can't do this, not my monkeys, not my circus. God, I love that, not my monkeys, not my circus. It's just wonderful. However, you are loved, you are safe, you are protected, and nobody is going to rain on your parade if you say no. So you've got an opportunity at the moment to improve your plans and not be frightened of the outcome, my darling. Just get rid of some of these losers whose heads you're holding above water. If we can help you in any way, just remember that I go away, but Angels Tuesdays and Thursdays, she's around, and there's someone in the team, the Royal team, the Royal Psychic team are amazing people, and they're there for you. Just ask, that's all you've got to do.
Okay, so one final goodie, and that's us done for the evening. So who have we got?
coming, Lord. Do 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 do.
Appreciate it. Will I get back with my
Short answer, you've got to let the ex go, sweetheart. No good can come from that. You've got to use logic over emotion. I'm sorry. I really would. I think that with all your heart, you want this relationship back on track. It does not serve you well. It is time to let it go. Um, the move, that's in. All you've got to say is yes. I want to move. I think there's an opportunity for you on the work front, and it's probably a really good thing for you to throw yourself into. I want you to remember the very worst day that you and your ex ever had. The very worst day. And that, my darling, is as good as it's going to be. He is your ex for a reason. That's kind of harsh. I didn't mean it to come out quite that way. But there's a lot of changes around you, and you need to move quickly in a strong and committed way, and you are far better off to go it alone.
Okay, everybody, so that was Friday. It would happen, so you can comment on Facebook. So thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll be back again on Thursday.
Night, everybody. God bless. Stay safe.
Okay, see you all on Thursday, guys. Same time. What's 8 o'clock till 10, and we'll have two psychics at hand. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Sorry about the muck up start. Good evening. Good night.
Bye, baby.